Welcome back, everyone, to the Battle for Indiana. Once again, I'm Tanner Kinney, joined with Nick here. The last game, we saw IU go up against Ball State and smash them.
It was a game. It was.
It was a little brutal. You got to see what happens when a Hecarim gets galloping, and it's not pretty. But we're not going to talk about that. There's no need to talk about that. We're talking about our next game coming up, which is going to be Purdue versus Butler. And on the blue side, we're going to have Purdue in the top lane, Giraffe Hugs in the jungle, Sacknom. In the mid lane is Nasta. On the AD carry role, we have Magic Stick, and on support, we have Pout Kid.
All right, and on the other side, we do have Butler. In the top lane, we do have Syrian. In jungle, we do have Butler MLG. In the mid role, we have Butler Mac. My bad. On the ADC, we have Lundstorm, and in the support, we have Won't Be Banned.
Yeah, so what are some things that we should be looking out for in this game, you think, Nick?
So it's definitely going to be hard to get a beat on what Butler can do in this tournament. Butler has like a big range of players in the context of skill level. They have gold players, they have diamond players. They can go both ways. On the other hand, Purdue is an all-diamond team, just like Ball State and IU. So we're looking for them to be one of the top dogs, for them to be one of those teams to try and dominate the tournament.
Yeah, and in the previous matches, Purdue won their match against Valpo, and Butler won against Manchester, which is expected. That's not too much of a surprise to see those wins, but both of these teams are coming off a win, so they're coming off of momentum into this next match, which definitely a good thing. Unfortunately, what might be a problem is that there's a bit of a mismatch in the top lane between Giraffe Hugs and Sir Aaron, where it could be bad if Giraffe Hugs decides to just try and smash lane and win game, but Sir Aaron could just pick Ornn, be on tank duty, play weak side, and attempt to not lose.
We could see Purdue try and exploit a weakness of Butler of some sorts, like playing towards the top side. We could see something along the lines of maybe a Renekton Elise, something that's a really good combo diving duo, constantly playing around their top side when there's a skill discrepancy like this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but at the same time, Butler has a fairly solid support player. Won't Be Banned is one of the better players in the tournament and plays a wide range of supports really well. So we could see a Blitz come in and try and get some early kills. We could see stuff like Pyke. They're a Yuumi enthusiast if they decide to bring out Tom and Jerry with Twitch and Yuumi. We could see stuff like that, and that could be a way that Butler can play to win, is through maybe the bot lane. The mid lane, I will say from my research on Butler's mid lane, not the best Sylas player. I don't think we will expect to see Sylas, but has been working out. He's practicing a lot of other stuff, so it's gonna be an interesting match for sure. Butler is absolutely the underdog, but
I like to think of Butler more as like a wild card here. We don't really have a beat on what they can do in this tournament. We can look at all the other high level teams, see all these diamond players, all these players that have played a bunch of games, and we can immediately say, hey, these are probably going to be one of the top dogs. But we don't know what to expect from Butler just because of how varied their team is in skill level and how good their players are compared to the rest of the players in the tournament.
Yeah, and for me as a viewer, hopefully we see some exciting picks. That I'd love to see some just spicy stuff. That would absolutely be thrilling. Definitely something to look out for.
And I think one of the things that that Butler specifically needs to look towards is playing towards your strengths. Don't try and do what the meta game is or what everybody else, what's happening in the LCS, what's happening in Worlds right now. Play what you're good at. Because look at your gold 3 players, your platinum players. They're not gonna measure up to these diamond players. You need to play what you're good at and keep going strong. Rely on your good players. Play around your strong players. Come out and win a game.
Yeah, and I another thing, looking back at my notes, is that both of these mid laners are actually not. It doesn't look like either of them are primary mid laners. Magic Stick plays a lot of AD carry, and then Cassiopeia, and Mac actually plays a lot of jungle, and has been practicing mid lane more recently. So.
And whenever it comes to these collegiate scenes, we do see a lot of role swaps. I mean, you heard earlier when I was reading off the Ball State roster, there were a lot of roster swaps from last year in their team, and it's no different with these other college teams. Like, last year, maybe Magic Stick did play that other role. Role swapping, you need to be adaptable. You need to be able to play multiple roles, and you need to be versatile.
Yeah, and having that extra knowledge of other roles gets you a better idea of what that role is going to do to you. It's hard to just be. You can play one role, but we are currently waiting on something in the game, so that is why we are taking some time here to. All right, the draft is being done in pro draft, so we're not going to be.
We'll just wait for pro draft to be done.
We're going to be waiting to see the draft whenever it pops up.
Until then, we can try and speculate about some of the picks that we're going to see. Obviously, we're going to see some most played banned. Some champions that aren't going to make it through. Champions maybe like Ornn, maybe like Yuumi. I don't think Yumi's going to make it through. Nobody wants to play against Yuumi.
Yeah, nobody wants to play against Yuumi, especially a Yuumi man. Ugh.
No judgment, but
no. I don't think we'll see a lot of mid laners banned against Butler, but we'll probably see some like their jungler plays a lot of different champs, plays a lot of Vi mainly, so we might see a Vi ban. Right. We might see a Jax ban. I know Sir Aaron plays a lot of Darius, so we might see a Darius ban. I feel like that's unlikely just because Darius is he's a very volatile champion. He can be countered, but he can also run over games if given the chance.
I do think another thing that we really need to look out for is probably a Gragas fan. Gragas is by far the most played for Saknom.
Yeah.
Or Butler. Oh, no, Saknom. Yeah, my bad. Okay, that's for you.
Purdue Saknom. He plays a lot of Gragas, but he also has been practicing Hecarim and Skarner recently. So, yeah. And, a lot of those were filler words there. But it's okay because I found what I was trying to say. Pillar Man, Trundle. I did see a lot of Trundle games in Saknom's history, and I don't think Trundle's exactly meta right now, but I personally love Trundle. He's a joke. Yep, there's the Yuumi ban.
There's the Yuumi.
This is probably be a quick draft because they already did some pro drafts, so we're gonna see the Yuumi come out ban. The Fiora, Purdue does have a pocket Fiora. Giraffe Hugs plays a lot of the champions, so that's not a surprise. Standard Caitlyn.
The Fiora ban, of course, again, like you said, it's kind of a pocket pick. It's the Caitlyn. Caitlyn is just a very strong champion right now. If anybody here has watched Worlds, Caitlyn is either banned or picked in almost every single game. She has 100% presence, and I'm not surprised to see Caitlyn having 100% presence in this tournament too.
Yeah, not a surprise. The Azir ban does come out. I'm surprised to see a mid laner ban, but Azir is a pretty good character, so that's fine. The heck
mid lane could be a potential target for Purdue because, mid lane, Butler Mac is one of the 2 diamond players on Butler. Butler, if you target those good players and limit them, the less chance they're going to have to carry.
And Saknom got his Gragas, but MGL got his Vi. And we're seeing Mac on the Cassiopeia, which Mac does play a lot of Cassiopeia. So we're seeing a lot of comfort picks come out here for both teams.
Should be an interesting match. The first thing I'm seeing already with Butler's draft is more of a focus towards the mid and late game. Cassiopeia does need maybe 3 items before she actually gets off the ground. Obviously, a good player can pop off at any point in the game. And Shen is looking to make mid-game plays.
Yeah. And we got the Mordekaiser as well. Oh, the Malphite ban coming in. The Alawi ban makes... That's actually kind of weird that they banned Alawi. I don't know if they expect the Mordekaiser to flex or what they're doing here. but maybe they're just like doing what they did in Pro Draft, and they already did these bans.
I'm not sure about the Alawi ban anyways, because they do have Gragas, and Gragas is an extremely good counter into Alawi. Gragas' ultimate, basically, you just wait for Alawi to ult, and you immediately just knock her away. She can't do anything with that ultimate anymore.
Yeah, it's true. Alawi is very much a one-button champion, but a one-button wonder does work. You can see it work sometimes. We're not going to see it this game. But yeah, I think what happened is that they did this in Pro Draft, and we're just seeing them go through the picks like normally because there's no flexing happen right here.
Oh yeah, I see it.
Yeah. So what happened? Mordekaiser was probably B4, B5 then. So yeah, we got Senna Soraka bot lane. Oh boy, that's a lane where Ashe picks up Executioner first back.
So remember when I said Purdue really wanted to focus on the mid lane of Butler? Butler seems to be focusing on their own mid lane a lot, too. Every single champion on Butler's team seems to be supporting Cassiopeia in some way.
Yeah, and Mac is a really good Cassiopeia from what I saw for his numbers. So that's absolutely a great idea to pull out there. The Ashe Lulu, you don't see a lot of Lulu these days. I'm a Lulu enthusiast. I love watching Lulu. So it's going to be good to enable like keep the Lucian safe, enable the Gragas, enable the Mordekaiser.
So we have another situation where I think Purdue's going to have 3 pushing lanes, and Purdue, I think, is actually probably going to snowball that early advantage really hard. When you have champions like Lucian in the mid lane constantly pushing, he can move around the map and he can constantly pressure other places. Gragas is almost never going to be contested by Vi. Vi's 1v1 advantage over Gragas doesn't even matter when Gragas... It's not going to be a 1v1. It's going to be a 1v2.
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be a lot. Going to see a lot of jungle skirmishing. Absolutely. Yeah. Any other thoughts just in general on this draft? Because this is looking like it's going to be a lot of skirmishing. I think if Butler can manage to get through laning phase, then
they're in good shape.
They're in good shape. The Cassio will carry if given the opportunity. But
again, if given the opportunity, Cassio's not going to have pressure in her lane, and if that's the point that you want to play around, it's going to be difficult because now Purdue has the option to shut Cassiopeia down. Cassio is going to constantly be under her turret, and sure, she might be safe, sure, she might not die, but not dying compared to the enemy team getting 6 kills. I mean, which one would you rather have, right?
Probably the kills. Probably the money.
Maybe.
There could be situations where, just not dying feels good. It pads your KDA. Good KDA.
And I think another point that Purdue can look at to try and go after is the top lane. Mordekaiser is going to perma-push the Shen under his tower, and again, with Lucian pushing, with Gragas almost having free reign in the river, that's a dive target. A 3-man dive is almost impossible to live through. I mean, Shin needs to know when he needs to back off of his turret or when he needs to leave.
Yeah, but if there's any character that can turn a dive with a shield, with the Twilight Shroud, that's not Twilight Shroud, whatever his shield is, whatever keeps him safe in the safety field, Shen can turn it if he lands a good Shadow Dash into his combo. We've seen this happen in pro games where Shen will get dove and then he just somehow turns it around on people. And will we see the Bomby Cinder again, or will we see a real Shen build? That's the question.
The way you're supposed to build Shen is you actually are supposed to go Titanic first, or Titanic Hydra first item, or stop at Tiamat depending on your matchup. And then the next 2 items you always get, there's 3 core items are Titanic Hydra, Randuin's Omen, and Adaptive Helm. Those are the 3 items you almost always get on Shen, and you get them in varying order depending on your matchup. But Sunfire Cape, you almost never get Sunfire Cape because, one, Titanic Hydra already does that. It does what Sunfire Cape is trying to do for you. And if you want an armor item, just get Randuin's Omen because that gives you armor plus so many other stats. You reduce an enemy's attack speed. You get that active slow. It's just a better item for Shen overall.
Yeah, we probably still will end up seeing maybe a Spectre's Cowl into maybe an Abyssal Mask maybe unlikely at 280 carries on the side of Purdue, so maybe not, but probably still see some magic resist for the lane. Maybe just a Merc Treads. Who knows?
Mm-hmm. And again, I don't really know what Butler's comp is trying to accomplish other than maybe just Cassio, please carry us, right? I mean, we're here to support you, Cassio, but
it's a lot of comfort picks.
And the Vi just really sticks out to me. I mean, look, I gotta level with you. Vi's not a good champion. There are so many champions that do what Vi does better.
That's true. That is absolutely true. And we're into the game right now. On the blue side, for Purdue, we have Mordekaiser, Gragas, Lucian, Ashe, and Lulu. And on the red side, for Butler, we have Shen, Vi, Cassiopeia, Senna, and Soraka. Probably no cheese. Maybe cheese? Little cheese? Just some wards.
Yeah, they're just moving around, getting a 5-point, looking around, making sure there's no cheese coming from the other side, getting some early wards, maybe getting some early information on where the jungler is going to start. And we got to pause.
All right. Any pauses. Okay.
And again, I mean, I don't want to jinx this, but I don't think we're going to see too much action around the bot side. I mean, Ashe, Senna, 2 mage healing, shielding supports. We're not going to see too much action around there.
All right. Going back into the game now.
Mm-hmm.
Probably, yeah. I don't see a lot of action happening. Definitely, like I don't even imagine what it would be like to attempt to gank the Senna Soraka. Like
no.
you go in and they just heal each other for the duration of the ganks. Like, well, what did I do? What did I accomplish? Unless Gragas goes for like the one-shot build, and that could happen. Probably.
I mean, so the normal build for Gragas now is he does build AP. He usually goes Runics into Sword Shoes into Zillias. It gives him a lot of burst, and it gives him a lot of survivability in the middle of fights. He's a diver at heart.
Yeah, and if there's a backline to dive, it's absolutely Butler's comp. That is a lot of people who are ready to get explosive casts.
And I actually really like the Gragas pick here. I mean, one, Gragas is his most played. Butler should have seen it coming. And when your main carry, Cassio, is immobile and doesn't have any dashes, any mobility, one Gragas ultimate can knock her back into their team and just kind of ruin the entire team fight for Butler.
Yeah, and what kind of peel does Butler even have? The Soraka field, the silence, Shenton.
I mean, yeah,
punching them.
They're just hoping the healing and shielding is going to be enough, and maybe they CC enough of them.
Yeah, maybe it will be. We'll have to wait and see. Yeah, pretty standard starts, looks like.
Mm. And it actually looks like Cassio is getting the early push, which is odd. I mean, Lucian with press the attack, ignite. That sounds like a better lane.
That sounds like where you hit level 2 and you just run at them. But Cassio did land some early poke. I saw a lot of Qs landing. So there was some poison damage early. Maybe Lucian is just trying to play it safe. Understands that don't need to win immediately.
And I'm really confused by Vi's pathing so far. She did a level 3 path, red, blue to Gromp, instantly gets level 3. But if you do that, you're usually looking to make a play after you hit level 3, because that's really inefficient. You have to skip over, you just walk by 2 camps. If you're going to full clear them as you walk by, because now you're wasting time walking back to those camps that you already walked by before.
Yeah, while Gragas is finishing off his blue and is taking every camp but Krugs on the bot side, Vi is actually not going to take Raptors. Vi is going to be heading into the river to maybe contest the Scuttle topside.
And I think Gragas does.
Ooh, here comes the fight. Vi's going to be punching in. She's charging into Aftershock. We'll tank her back. Gragas is just going to knock her away, body slam, slow her down. Not a lot. The root coming down. A lot of damage. Double root. This is actually Magic Stick taking a ton of damage, but returning it with the volleys. So, pretty even trade. Soraka did take more in the long run. And unless Soraka lands Q, she's not going to get a lot of healing.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I take it back. It turns out Vi, MGL, was actually just having a Giga Brain moment and knowing that Gragas was going to be on that top scuttle and she had pressure in both those lanes, so she could actually just go and contest that scuttle.
Vi saw
Good on her.
The MGL saw the future. He knew what was about to happen. He's going to go for the gank. Matt gets caught out. No mana, but the exhaust comes out. Vi flashes in. Forcing Lucian's flash as well. He's going to fire back, but flash for flash.
I mean, that's two summoners burnt for just one. That's not exactly a good
Oh,
trade.
that's
and
oh no! Cassio knows. Lucian saw an opportunity, he took it, and Cassio even burns the flash there too. So what was an okay trade ended up just getting a whole lot worse.
Yeah, that gank actually went from just not so bad to disastrous, because if Cassio has exhaust there, she lives. But she burns exhaust trying to make that gank, basically hopeless gank, work because, well, Cassio didn't have any follow-up damage. She had no mana. So, yeah. I mean, what do you do in that situation besides burn 2 of your summoners for only 1, and then Lucian just trades a kill for it?
Yeah, it's definitely not a great thing for this Lucian. Getting an early lead on the Cassio. He is going to be going the Muramana build that you've been seeing a lot of Lucians do in the mid lane. So, it'll take him a little bit longer to scale, but absolutely.
And Cassio,
not the kind of lead. Yeah.
Cassio falling behind is probably disastrous for Butler. Cassio needs to try and find a way already back into its game. I mean, the minions are even. Again, it's only a 1-kill lead. It's not the end of the world, but Lucian could snowball this small lead into something much bigger.
Yeah, the wave
is
in a terrible spot.
The wave is in a terrible spot. I mean, he could freeze on her, and I don't know. Like, what does Cassio do in this situation? She can't take fights. He's level 6.
Ooh, here comes Gragas in with the Predator, the body slam into the culling. No chance that Cassio gets away from that. Without flash, without summoners, that's a snake. And she just got through the boots.
Butler, you need to just... You've lost the early game. Recognize that. You need to try and play for mid to late game now. Play reactively. Try and understand where Gragas is going to be, where plays are going to be made. Counter. You need to counter their plays. Wait for them to make a mistake and punish them.
Yeah. Yeah, it feels like there's a lot of maybe. Oh, the Death Realm coming out. Mordekaiser getting a lot of damage. Meanwhile, on the bot side, Gragas does secure the dragon. Mordekaiser's not going to get out of this one. The burn damage from the Mordekaiser shield is just going to be too much. Into the Death Realm and into the Death Chamber for Shen. A kill for Mordekaiser.
I mean, in that situation, as Shen, I think you need to just back out. Maybe take a recall, buy some items. It has been 7 minutes. I'm sure you can buy something. But you have to try and wait for Vi to be around topside to help you push in that wave. I mean, yeah, Mordekaiser is going to infinitely freeze that wave on you, but you have to get that help from your jungler to push it in so that you don't give a kill over, like what we saw.
Yeah, we do see the Tiamat coming in from the Shen, though. And the TP used, Mordekaiser, significant lead. You don't want to have Mordekaiser have a lead, especially with the skill discrepancy between these players.
And remember what I said, that you change what you build on Shen based on your matchup in the game state. Building a Tiamat here isn't the best option, because now he is perma-pushing waves into a Mordekaiser that can permanently freeze on him. You don't want to push waves into the Mordekaiser that can kill you. So going a Spectre's Cowl is the better option here.
Yeah, this is the game where you want to see a tank item, but yeah. It's definitely unfortunate, but not the end of the world for the Shen. It's definitely could get turned around, especially if Vi decides to go up and help, or other sorts of things.
I mean, this top lane and mid lane, for lack of a better word, might be doomed, but we have a fight.
Yeah, Root coming down. A little bit of poke, but not a whole lot else. The bot lane's actually holding on really well for Butler, which is kind of what we expected. Senna Soraka is just really hard to kill. But at the same time, Lulu is hard to kill. Oh, shit. Mordekaiser gets a grab. Here comes...
I see her.
Yeah, double Root's coming down. Vi's going to be charging in on the
6.
The punch, the flash to dodge. Perfect timing, but here comes Shen in with the ultimate. And that's just going to be Magic Stick taken down. There's no way out for him. And that's going to be 2 flashes burned. Here comes the culling on the mid lane. Cassio gets the Tetrifying Gaze. The exhaust comes down, but she's not going to be able to return the kill. She is just going to stay alive.
Why did she burn her exhaust while he was stunned? What? He was literally turned to stone. Why are you exhausted? Okay. That was just a waste of a summoner spell. She could have just walked away, but...
Yeah, especially if she had no intention of killing there, and she was not going to be able to kill that guy there.
Yeah, now that's a really good trade for Lucian. She doesn't have exhaust anymore. All ins are basically free game for Lucian now.
Yeah. Sure what? Lucian burnt culling? That's going to be up soon. Who cares? And meanwhile, Saknom's taking the Herald.
And
Shelly's going to go down.
The infinite top lane pressure and mid lane pressure that I was talking about earlier, it's biting them.
Ooh, wait, Shen's getting a lot of damage out there. Not really great, except Mordekaiser. This is Mordekaiser. What do you expect to do? The slam dunk with the mace.
I mean, we see this happen a lot against Mordekaiser's. It seems like Mordekaiser's getting bursted down, and then all of a sudden he just regains half of his health bar from his W and Conquer. Like, he just heals so much. Your Shen, you're not going to be able to kill him.
Yeah, and that's going to be Shelly getting dropped down. This is going to be an easy first turret for Purdue. Yep. All that money going over to Mordekaiser. This Metal Man is absolutely... he's a threat. He's a bit of a danger to society right now.
I mean, now I don't want to say that this game is over, but it's getting close to it.
It's in the same zip code as over. Let's just say that.
I'm not gonna say it's a 0% chance. I'm not saying it's a 99 either.
It's
oh.
Yeah, maybe it's a 98.
Possibly.
Oh, jeez. Well, yeah, Butler's just pushing on all sides.
Almost a 30 CS lead for Lucian.
Ooh, we're seeing a gank. Actually, the Enchanted Crystal Arrow gonna stun up Cassiopeia. She has to burn the flash, but here comes Vi, knocking into the turret, but Lucian just flashes out, firing back with the Ashe in tow. Still gonna stay alive. The Lulu manages to keep Lucian. That was almost good.
It's just constant bad plays for Butler. Every move that Butler makes, it seems like Purdue has an answer.
Yeah, it's rough to watch. It's tough to see. We did see the Soraka ulti was used there to keep Cassio alive, as Lucian attempted to just like shoot her down for fun. Soraka, for fun. Yeah.
I would imagine Lucian's having a lot of fun in this game.
Yeah, hunting rattlesnakes in the Old West right now.
It's his favorite pastime.
Yeah, what do you think Lucian's boots are made of, honestly?
We're not going to talk about that one.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Cassiopeia can't buy boots, so, you know, that's...
Well, I mean, if we look at the only place that might be ahead for Butler, it's the Senna Soraka. What are they? And we have a... Okay.
Oh, yeah, and what are you going to say? Cassio sets up, gets caught by the Death Realm, gets murdered. And Vi's going to get caught out by Saknom now, and having to flash the wall. It's just... That 98% chance is slowly creeping up by the decimal.
But Butler is just not tracking any map movements.
Predator coming in, the double flashes, the knockback with the explosive cast, and Shen's gonna complete the TP. They're gonna get 2 for 1 right here. Sarah Aaron is delivering them a whole meal right now. Right through DoorDash, right on time. Make sure you tip well. Oh, jeez.
Oh, trust me, they got tipped well for that one.
That was, Soraka delivered for sure. That's gonna be another dragon picked up.
Yeah, that's second dragon. I mean, Butler needs to try and find counters for these plays. Maybe start giving over some turrets. I mean, look, at this point, you can't contest them taking a bot lane turret or a mid lane turret. You can't contest it anymore. Just give it to them. Let the waves push to you. Collect your gold. All's happy with the world. You can't keep trying to fight things whenever you're this far behind.
Absolutely. And they're gonna keep trying to fight things. Maybe they think that the only way they can come back is by some desperation plays, but that's not the sauce. That is absolutely not the sauce.
They have time. I mean, there's 2 dragons till Soul. They have a good amount of time. 10 minutes at max. They can do it. They just need to try and play it slow. Again, I don't want to bash on this Vi pick too hard, but what does Vi do now? Other than maybe press R on one person?
She will R the Lucian and then die immediately.
Because, I mean, they have a Lulu, so, like... Oh, I don't know. Yeah, it's frustrating.
The Vi might, again, just been picked early. Ooh, we see a gank coming down on the Mordekaiser. He's going to get taunted up. Damage coming down from the Cassiopeia, but this is Mordekaiser, and he is still dangerous. He's trying to run down Cassiopeia to turn this around, but the Petrifying Gaze and the Shen managed to take him down. Maybe a lot of ultimates burned there. And then Lucian is just going to absolutely culling this Vi in the mid lane.
I mean, Shen got the shutdown gold off of Mordekaiser too. Like, that is the least ideal target to have that shutdown gold. Other than Soraka, like...
You want Cassio to get that shutdown gold. Like, that was big money for Cassio. That's a way back into the game, and now it's just... Cassio
is so far behind, and that's your only damage source. You need to get some gold onto Cassio. I mean, and Senna, I guess, but it's Senna. Senna's not going to carry a game.
Yeah, I imagine that, there was probably some panic because it is Mordekaiser. He's like, oh my god, we're actually dying to this guy 1v2. So, just wanting to take that guy out, but yeah, it's absolutely just unfortunate. Even when they win, they're losing. And speaking of, here comes the Predator Gragas. He's hungry, he's angry. He steps into the silence field, so he's going to be able to, not get the charge in immediately, but here comes the charge. Here comes the explosive cast, and here comes the kill. Lucian picking up that one for the side of Purdue. That's 2-0 in the dive. And a third.
So, in the inverse from what we saw last game, which was a lot of bad plays being made and the other team punishing very well, we just see a lot of good plays being made by Purdue here. They're making constant proactive plays, constantly moving around the map. That was the last Tier 1 tower, and they took it down before 15 minutes. Like, Butler couldn't have even surrendered by the time they took all of the towers.
Yeah, they're probably thinking about it, though. It's the forefront of their minds, perhaps. But Cassiopeia, there's the fantasy that Cassiopeia comes back, she gets 3 items, and if she plays perfectly, she can pull it back, right? What if Vi picks up items?
Terry, let's slow down. We need to take a stop and look at something.
What are we looking at?
Do I see a Tiamat and a Balmy Cinder on Shen?
Oh no!
2 items that do the exact same thing.
Oh no, Boris!
They do the exact same thing.
Sir Aaron's got a membership.
Oh, he's subscribed to Boris's exclusive service.
Yeah.
Maybe a Patreon.
He's getting items for 15% off right now. He really needs it. Lucian almost takes him out. Just casually walking up and almost one-shotting the Shen, because Shen has no armor. He's got a cloth armor. And his hopes and dreams. And those are his...
He's dealing with a Mordekaiser, and he's refusing to build an adaptive helm.
The Metal Man comes! The grasp into the Death Realm, into the base! Dodges the Petrifying Gaze expertly, and there's no way Cassio can avoid this. She just gets absolutely run over by this tractor of a man right now.
Let's look at the bright side, though. Cassio did finish her first item at 16 minutes.
We have achieved item 1. We have another Herald coming in. Vi actually is going to get some damage on. They're going to finally get killed. Senna picking up that one. That's not a bad kill to pick up. But Shelly will get a charge and almost take down that top tower, but it's still standing, barely.
I do think Purdue should start looking towards this next dragon spawning, which they already are. They have 3 members inside of Butler's jungle, so, I mean, Soul Point is basically a gimme at this point, and goodbye, Shen.
Oh my, I alt-tabbed for 1 second, and Shen disappears. Oh.
This is brutal. Shen's gonna finish the Sun Fight. He's gonna finish it. He has to.
At this point, what does he do? He could keep Build-A-Bearing, he could pick up a Spectre's Cowl, get the whole meal right here.
The Resistance Garage Shell.
Yeah, the variety platter.
Oh
man.
I mean, this game is starting to look a little doomed for Butler.
Yeah.
Nothing barring a miracle or some huge mistake.
This is unfortunate. Lucian's proccing the Presley attack, almost taking her out as she dashes away. Probably wouldn't have killed because Soraka was there, but, it was something else. Oh, here comes Saknam, coming in with the Predator, getting actually the Petrifying Gaze does land. He's taking a ton of damage, but the stopwatch is going to come out, keep Saknam alive, forcing the Cassio to flash. Here comes Lulu into the knockback, but here comes Shen, keeping her alive.
Oh, and
but not really. Oh no, but now Vi's going to get caught out, and Soraka's in another world right now, away from her team. Oh, jeez. Oh, Mordekaiser's angry. He's got the Yank. He's got the Death Chamber and the Death Realm. He just decides to flash the wall. An alpha gamer. He has decided the game is over. It is now Mordekaiser time. Oh, jeez. Doesn't get any other kills, but when you see that, man flash over the wall, you don't like to see that.
Okay, now if I'm Butler,
Shen, what are you doing?
If I'm Butler, I'm looking towards the next game here. Look. Don't let this one get to you too much. You still have a good chance to beat the 2 lower-rated teams, Manchester and Valparaiso. You're still going to play teams like Ball State. Ball State who's looking weaker than usual. So, I mean, they still have a chance to beat these other teams. And, this one was just a rough one.
Yeah, there are some, little sparks of greatness. Like, the Cassio, the movement on the Cassio is pretty good for the most part, aside from some misplays early on.
I mean, we saw a good coordinated play down bot lane where they were actually able to get something going. They got a lead on Senna, but it's Senna. Like, when your only damage source is 0 and 5, it's kind of hard to win fights.
Yeah, it's just you're right when you say Butler needs to start looking to the next game, because honestly, this one's looking a little done. This turkey's looking a little cooked for certain.
I mean, again, we could see a huge mistake. Maybe Purdue gets cocky. Maybe they just make a huge mistake and give Butler some sort of miracle, and maybe they can come back. But as it stands right now, with the type of lead, over 10,000 gold, I don't think they're making it back.
Yeah, and the Siren Call, the Purple Worm, doesn't matter. That's just a flawless CC combo executed by Purdue right there. So many things coming out, and Shen just, returns to his home. He does have Sunfire. He did finish the Sunfire.
He did finish the Sunfire. God bless.
Oh, here comes MGL getting yanked into the Death Realm. But Mac's going to be waiting for Girafugs to come out. The slam comes down. Already that's damage, but from the back, you see MGL having to run away from Lucian. This is looking like a secured Purple Worm.
Oh, there might be a fight.
Ooh, yeah, Cassio's looking for the Petrifying Gaze. Does not land. They're stepping up. Gragas is looking for something. He's fishing, but nothing on the line right now.
And again, it's just a really smart Baron play by Purdue. I mean, it's not like Butler can contest. They got all the vision they needed. They cleared all the vision they needed to in Butler's top jungle. They got vision control in the river, in the Baron pit. What could Butler do besides try and walk into them? But what are you going to do? Walk into a Gragas, Mordekaiser, walk into a Lucian who's one-shotting your entire team? Like, it's a really difficult situation.
Yeah, they're running out of options, and they've pretty much run out of time at this point. I wouldn't be surprised to see Purdue just run it down with this Baron and take the win. But Cassio has almost completed a second item.
I mean, they're on their way. They're giving it their best shot. I mean, you got to commend. They actually are putting up a decent defense. They've only lost one inhibitor. No Nexus turrets have gone down. All they have to do is just keep defending against these super minions and these Baron minions. Again, which is really hard to do. They have really bad wave clear. Their comp can't clear waves up close whenever Purdue's going to be contesting the waves.
Yeah, but they're not giving up. There's always a chance, What if Gragas' monitor turns off? Have we considered?
Have we considered technical issues? I don't think we have.
Have we considered? Have we considered that? No? Okay. Well, yeah, this is just gonna be a Baron push. Coming in on the mid lane with the Lucian, just pushing in the minions, and 4 people bot side pushing in here. It's not looking great. This is gonna be. We're gonna see a final fight pretty soon, unless Purdue decides to take matters into their own hands, deletes Shen from the realm. The enchanted crystal arrow lands on Soraka. The culling is going to go down. Cassio's going to try and fight this 1v5. The poor man, Petrifying Gaze, looks great into the knockback by the buys in the back line. Cassio's doing a bit of damage, and she might actually pull it out, but nope. Just everything goes down. He's so strong. He dives the back line. He shoots them all down, and the bullets are flying, and Butler will fall to the team of Purdue University.
And that last fight was, I mean, there's nothing special to say about it. There was no big plays. There was no amazing outplays. It was literally just Purdue almost stat checking Butler. Like, their champions were just stronger at that time and were just able to run them over.
Yeah, it was absolutely not as much. I feel like Butler at least did their best to fight back. They didn't just get completely run over, which should be commended.
They did make some good plays. They show promise. They showed us a glimpse of what they can do. They can actually compete with these teams.
Yeah, they can compete. Like, Purdue is obviously one of the better teams on the tournament. So getting taken out like this shouldn't be that discouraging. They pulled off some good moves, and Butler should be looking towards their next game to pick up, some solid wins. It's possible, but Purdue was just that Gragas, man. The Gragas and the Mordekaiser. Whew.
And going off of what Purdue did very well, they basically just kept pushing the tempo. They kept making plays and they kept on the pressure. I mean, like, there's nothing else to say other than Purdue just knew how to take their lead and turn it into more and more objectives until they won the game.
All right. Well, I think that will conclude that game. Pretty tough match, but I believe that they'll come back. And all the other matches for round 2 have finished. So if you're curious, Manchester lost to Indiana University. IU takes another win. Ball State beat Valpo. And as we just saw, Purdue beat Butler. So when we get into the next round, we will go ahead and see Ball State back on the stream against Manchester. Manchester 0-2 right now. Can they come back against a Ball State team that may end up being weaker than we expected?
Mm-hmm.
We'll have to wait and find out. So thank you for watching, and stay tuned. We'll be back with more League of Legends action after the break.
All right. See you guys.